What in the world is RE-DESTRO'S OP quirk? Sorry, special ability. What's up, it's Truth Hero, and welcome back to another My Hero Academia chapter review. Today, we'll be discussing Boku no Hero Academia chapter 232 of the manga. Now, while we'll touch upon Twice and the League of Villains, the main course is RE-DESTRO and his special ability. Let's dive in. The chapter opens with Twice continuing to clone himself and then making copies of members of the League of Villains, including Shigaraki. One very interesting thing to note here is a side conversation among two of Twice's clones. They are both convinced that they are the original. Now, we of course know this to be untrue, as the real Twice is battered, bruised, and broken arms and all, holding Toga while he's trying to save Giran with his copies. But Twice is very emotional over Broker here. He comments on how he lost his right hand, how he no longer has fingers to hold his American spirits with. He can no longer smoke. But then again, he won't get lung cancer. This raw emotion might be a sign that Twice is actually starting to lose control over his copies and not maintain his sense of identity. Or at the very least, it shows that emotional situations make it a bit hard for Twice to maintain his sense of self. I wonder if this will be his downfall or his motivation. RE-DESTRO first gives us a small hint of his power by destroying one of Twice's clones. Now, I get that these are weaker copies of Twice, but they're not that weak, and RE-DESTRO simply pokes one and it's gone. It disappears. How powerful is the Liberation Army's leader? Then Twice rushes RE-DESTRO with the clone members of the League of Villains, and RE-DESTRO activates his quirk. Special ability, which is ridiculously powerful and curiously mysterious. Comment below right now, what do you think RE-DESTRO's special ability is? And what limitations or drawbacks does it have? If any. I'll tell you what I think RE-DESTRO's quirk truly is later on in the video, but for now, I think it's safe to say that he has the ability to manipulate the size of his own body, and possibly the ability to transfer energy throughout it. Now, this would obviously explain the giant arm, and could explain why his blackened finger, which is the same as his face, was able to do so much damage on the Twice clone. RE-DESTRO then engages with the copy of Shigaraki and tells him the story about the mother of quirks, and how laws eventually helped people, but in the end were just another form of oppression for people with special abilities. Now, I'm sure he's referring to Destro's mom, his grandmother, and not the first child that was born with a quirk. But what Shigaraki says here is very interesting. He says, "The mother of quirks, what is this, a joke?" Now, whether or not Shigaraki went to school and is educated, even he can see that RE-DESTRO is using history to justify his motives. RE-DESTRO ain't just blowing smoke either. He seriously questions the motives and ambitions of the League of Villains. Do they only have destruction on their minds? Do they have a plan for society? Is there no revolution? I love how the motivations of both groups are pitted against each other. It's ideology versus ideology. Don't get me wrong, Shigaraki is motivated, and we've certainly seen him cement his resolve throughout these last couple of chapters, but how can the League of Villains possibly compete with RE-DESTRO's motivations? He's trying to fulfill the wishes of his father, of his family, and basically trying to emancipate his people and his ancestors from discrimination. The League of Villains, they can barely get Dabi to even commit. And I think this is where Gigantomachia will come into play. Shigaraki will show RE-DESTRO that all this effort, all this fighting with the Liberation Army was simply to tame the beast and for Shigaraki to get his final blessing from All for One with Gigantomachia. That is how you rival motivations. Oh, say Liberation Army, you have a strong ideology? Well, we're still forming ours, but we have a Hulk. I am RE-DESTRO. Not if Shigaraki has something to say about it. And damn, Shigaraki OP. I mean, I knew he was good. I knew he could crumble a crowd of people in mere seconds, but a tower? A whole tower? That's crazy. If you didn't know it before, you know it now. All that training with the giant has certainly paid off. In Shigaraki's gaming terms, he's not only leveled up, he's upgraded classes. Except it didn't kill him. Apparently, falling from a crumbling skyscraper only scratches RE-DESTRO. But did you notice how the leader of the Liberation Army landed here? He was bigger. RE-DESTRO can change the size and manipulate his own body. That much is clear. Maybe he extended his legs and then shrunk down to avoid falling. Or maybe like Seiji Shishikura from the other school, he can manipulate his own flesh so nothing hurts him and then transfer the energy and dispel the impact. There's a lot to say about RE-DESTRO'S special ability, and I will be doing a separate video on my theory about it. But there is one thing that I will mention, and that's the definite possibility that RE-DESTRO has multiple special abilities. And why not? If he's truly the final boss, and Shigaraki has to prove to All For One that he's worthy of the gift of Gigantomachia, and that Gigantomachia is looking to respect someone who is powerful like his master, why not? Shigaraki would have to prove that he's not only powerful, but he can go against people that are powerful with multiple quirks, or special abilities. RE-DESTRO becoming bigger in the final panel could mean that he's the final boss, but not for Shigaraki, for Gigantomachia. If he can truly manipulate the size of his own body, then I have no doubt that these two titans will clash. As always, thanks for watching. Are we ever going to see Snowjacket or Apocrypha again? But more importantly, what do you think RE-DESTRO's special ability or quirk truly is? I want names and descriptions down in the comments below. If you like these manga reviews and My Hero Academia content, consider enrolling at UA today by clicking the subscribe button down below. And until next time, plus ultra.